So I'm Steve. I'm a counsellor. Most of the work I do, I guess, is with couples. Occasionally I pick up some EAP work, and occasionally I see some individual people. I have an interest in couples work, and I chose to do it, and I'm really glad that I've got the opportunity to do it.
I'm Sheryl, and I've been at Relationships Australia as well for 8 years. I see less couples than Steve does, but they do form quite a large body of my work. I also see individuals. I see the odd client in Gamblers Help, and I also facilitate on the case manager South for forced adoption support services.
This is my third incarnation. I started life as a journalist. I worked for newspapers and ABC television. First trained as a teacher, and I was in the state education system for some years. I resigned again and went back to university and did a master's degree in this line of work. And here I am. Before the work at the agency, I worked at Lifeline for some years, mostly as a volunteer, as a telephone counsellor, but also as a member of the training team there. One of the reasons I like couples work is that as teachers, you see a lot of children troubled by their dysfunctional family life, and there's not a lot schools can do about that. Just support the children as best we can. But that's, I guess, where I got my interest in couples work, and I figured if, maybe there was an opportunity to help couples sort their relationship issues out that would flow through to the family, and that's, I guess, why I'm here.
My background has been nursing. I've been a general nurse and a midwife and a child health nurse. And I think, I especially love midwifery, and it's the most wonderful place when a birth goes well. But of course when it doesn't, and a baby is deformed or has died or whatever, there's enormous grief and loss. And so I used to feel quite, I suppose, helpless in a way, because I didn't have the training around it really to deal with the situation. I could in my capacity as a midwife, but I was interested in beyond that. So I then, from there, applied to do a Master of Counselling. My journey into counselling, it's actually, I've had a great understory, I think, with nursing. I think I've always had a high degree of empathy, and I think that's been reflected in my work as a nurse. And dealing with patients and relatives and the medical staff, all of those things requires a lot of patience and empathy and understanding. And I think that's really helped me as a counsellor. I've been able to view people holistically.
There's a lot that goes to being a counsellor, and that goes without saying, I guess. But if you don't bring as much empathy as you can to the situation, and as much understanding in a holistic sense of what the clients bring, and a capacity to suspend judgment and value what people say, then not only is your job a lot harder, it's way less effective. The training course I did was a good training course. It's the master's degree here, and it was nothing wrong with it at all. But what I really learned, I learned from my colleagues, but most of all I learned from the clients. I come away from most sessions as most counsellors would, very humble and a lot wiser from hearing people's stories and from understanding where they are and what's brought them to see people like me.
I think it's so true. We learn so much from our clients, and it's such a privileged position, because I think as relationship counsellors, we know that we can make or break that session. We can. So we have to be very circumspect. We have to tread very gently and with a great deal of compassion and understanding. What we do is try and instill hope for change. Yes, that's really important, and with every session, and it helps us set goals with our clients so that they can move forward.
The outcome will be what it will be. We don't have much control over that, really. That's the client's work. For us, or for me, the satisfaction is in the process of helping people, guiding people to get to where they want to go. The best thing to see is when they hug each other in the car park when they're leaving.
Well, I want to say that it's so essential to have a very good captain of the ship. And so if we can look at our CEO and downwards, I think that's really, really important. But for us and our counselling team, we have a very good manager. And she looks out for all of us. And she keeps the communication going between us all as well. And that's really, really important in terms of feeling that we're supported, and then we can support each other.
It's a fabulous place to work. I really love it.
Yeah, and me too. And that's why we're still there.
Yeah.
Almost 8 years later.